morning, everyone. Today is a day of decision making. I'm not sure if I'm about to do an 11-hour drive or if I'm about to just stay home for the week. Right now, however, we are out of coffee at the house, so I'm on my way to Wawa to replenish our coffee stash. And I also need to definitely shave my beard because I look super weird. Super weird.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. You too.
That's a nice camera.
Oh yeah. Thanks. Panasonic.
Photographer?
Yeah. I've probably been asked that question if I was a photographer over 500 times in my life. And I just always say yes, because I'd never want to let them down. Be like, nah, I'll vlog it. People probably still don't know what that is. You know what's crazy? I thought vlogging was so weird in the beginning when I first started. I hated the idea of vlogging. I was like, I'll never be a vlogger. That's crazy. Like, it's so corny. But when I realized what it's really about and not just my perception of it, I realized that it was actually an amazing thing. And it's beautiful in a weird way. It's a beautiful experience, like sharing years and years and years. It's interesting. All right, let's go deliver Jordan her coffee. Kind of interesting, when I first started vlogging, I literally would go to Starbucks every morning, like every day. Now I just went to Wawa to get coffee and it's like a treat. Like I drink coffee at the house every day for like the past 3 years. Pretty wild. But that's probably the difference between having your own house and sleeping on your mom's couch though. That's probably what we can figure from that. This is pretty sick. I just woke up to 150,000 subscribers. We finally hit the mark. Look at that. Wow. It literally must have just happened this morning. 150,000 subscribers on my Ben Gravy YouTube channel. What a dream. Thank you to everyone. Thank you guys for all the support over the past 5 years. Coming up on 6 years. Wow. Thank you guys. Hit 150,000 subscribers.
Wow, that's a nice for you.
This is all getting cut.
Exactly, it's not going anywhere.
All right, let's go check the waves. I recently got back from Portugal, and the last day of the trip I actually got to surf Nazare, which is the spot on Earth that has the biggest waves in the world. For the past 4 years I've been interested in surfing big waves, I would say, or bigger waves. I never really saw myself going into anything over like 20 foot, but I already broke that record accidentally by just getting myself out there. My first big wave experience, surfing in waves that actually scared me, I'd have to say is right out here in Atlantic City. When I was about 11 or 12 years old, I remember distinctly my dad waking me up at like 6 in the morning, and he's like, yo, you're not going to school today. The waves are absolutely massive. And we went down to the end of the street in Longport and looked out, and there was just these huge lines across the whole horizon. Back then, for what I saw, for my age and everything, it was pretty much 20 foot in my head. Looking back on it, it was probably about 6 foot, 8 foot faces. I remember we went up to Atlantic City and it was just absolutely bombing. All the best local surfers were out. Guys were on the beach filming. It was crazy. This is before I filmed. I think my mom took a couple pictures. Those days back then were the first times I ever experienced big waves. Like waves that scared me. And then many years later, after I started vlogging, I ended up in Ocean Beach, San Francisco. I was staying at Sensei Steve's house. Sensei Steve is a legend. Shout out to Steve Dwyer. So Steve actually grew up in Longport too, which is an interesting thing of how this whole story comes together. Steve took me out. I was way overgunned. I think I was on like a 10-foot board, maybe even bigger. It was about 12, 15-foot faces at Ocean Beach, and we paddled out and we caught a bunch of waves, and that was the first time I ever experienced what I would call big waves. You can feel it when the waves are big. You just know, you look out over the ocean and the waves are breaking super slow from the beach, and you can just tell like that wave has serious size. And I remember going out in Ocean Beach and just being so scared, just absolutely terrified.
My teeth have been numb for the past 3 hours. My heart is pumping out of my chest. I am tripping out.
I was so scared until I got out there. Because if you've never surfed big waves before and someone's telling you you need a gun and the waves are about to be huge where you're going out, I didn't know. But then I went out and I realized that big waves are just waves that are really big. It's the same experience. You just gotta take more time. You just gotta have more respect for the ocean. Once I got out there, I was at peace and I kind of actually wanted something more. I wanted to surf waves that were bigger than that. A little less than 2 years later, I'm sitting in New Jersey. I haven't really thought about big waves since Ocean Beach. Literally sitting down for dinner, and I get a phone call. It's Will Scooten, professional big wave surfer. I answer the phone and I say, God, is that you? And Will goes, are you looking for something? And I had no idea how to respond to that. And he pitched the idea that we head out to Oregon and surf Nell Scott Reef for a 25-foot swell. I had never surfed off the back of a jet ski before, never did toe-ins, and I had never paddled into waves that big. So, like most things in life, of course I said yes, and the next thing I knew, I was on my way to Oregon. Oregon was an amazing experience. Thanks to everyone out there who made it so special. Toe Surfer, Dave, Big Z-Land, Drake, everybody made it amazing.
If the reef is marginal, I don't need a tow. We can put one of these guys on our ski and you can do what you gotta do with the other one.
Will made it absolutely awesome. We were able to train for an entire day about jet ski safety and just learn what to do and what not to do in a bad situation. It was a lot of comfort for me to be able to do that before we went out into the big surf.
Oh my God!
We woke up the next morning and the waves were absolutely bombing. 25 to 30 feet, probably 30 to 40 feet on a realistic scale. I'll never look at life the same again after experiencing that. Just letting go of that rope and seeing a 20-foot wall of water in front of you and you're gliding down the face of it as it's just perfectly peaking up and just making it out to the shoulder. It's truly the ride of a lifetime. There's no other way to describe it. After surviving the tow session, it was time for the paddle session. Now, I was so thrilled about how I did towing that I went out for the paddle session and I decided to sit way on the inside. I was thinking that most of the good ones were doubling up and breaking on the inside. And I was about 50 feet inside of everyone else who was sitting out the back. And a set came, everyone else made it over the top of the wave. It was about a 20-foot wave, and it landed right on my head.
Okay. Are you okay? Come on. It's okay, it's okay. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
Alright, let's get the
Okay, right on your head.
I went right on it.
Yeah.
Dude, Ragdoll City.
You okay?
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
Did you pull?
Didn't pull, I couldn't find it.
Coming up from that was an eye-opening experience. Truly the pounding of a lifetime. I came up from that, got on the jet ski, Will made sure I was all right, and somehow, surprisingly, I was ready to go back out. And I ended up going out and actually scoring a bunch of awesome paddle waves. I even took one massive wave, probably the biggest wave of my life, straight on my head directly after that. And I came up stoking. Less than a year later, I made a casual trip to Hawaii. I've been going every winter for a while. And we show up to Hawaii. I surfed a couple fun waves, some novelty waves, classic Hawaii dreams. I actually ended up injuring my knee on literally an ankle-high wave. I was riding Jamie's freaking 9-foot soft top, and the thing was so heavy, I jumped off it to claim a wave, literally to make a claim. And the board got washed into the back of my knee and just boom, knocked it just weird enough sideways. And this isn't even my bad knee, this is my good knee. Knocked it out. I was out of commission for like 4 straight days while in Hawaii, which is a huge bummer. My knee started feeling a little bit better, and Jamie calls me and he's like, yo, literally the swell of the decade is about to hit Hawaii. We're going big wave surfing. And I was just like, what does that even mean? That's the first time in my life I saw 35 to 50 foot. It said on Surfline, 35 to 50 foot waves. So I wrapped my knee up, all injured, straight in a brace, everything. 100% not ready to go out and do this. Not ready to commit to this. But in a weird way, my knee injury took my mind off of how big the waves actually were. I put my knee in a brace, I taped it up, and we went out. By far, this is the biggest surf I ever experienced in my whole life. Now, I don't believe that I caught the biggest wave of my life this day, but I mean, some of the waves I surfed that day were absolutely massive. They were truly mountains of water. And Jamie and Kalani Chapman were just towing me in like it was nothing, dude. Big smiles on their faces, getting rocked by these massive waves. I mean, these guys are animals. They're truly animals. I think Jamie claims he got the biggest wave of his life this day. Kalani got the gnarliest wave I've ever seen. By my calculations, it was like 80 feet. That day, I truly saw, I have one GoPro clip that is factually a 50-foot barrel just on the outer reef in Oahu. Just a 50-foot tube. I was completely in awe, completely in shock, and just completely mind blown by what Mother Nature is actually capable of. This is a crazy story that I don't think I ever shared on the vlog. So like the day was winding down. We were at Outer Log Cabins. I was surfing pretty much as little as possible. I had surfed outer logs. Jamie had surfed outer logs. And it was usually like 3 to 5 waves and then we would switch the rope. So Kalani's on the rope and Kalani got 3 bombs in a row. Just perfect backside cruisers. He was doing these sick carves and just absolutely on fire. So we get out the back and Kalani's like, yo, Ben, you wanna go? Like, we're about to head in. You wanna get one more? And I literally was like, honestly guys, like with this knee and with these size waves, I'm good. So I said no. The next thing we know, this wave comes in substantially bigger than anything else we had seen the entire day. Kalani pops up on the rope. It's his 4th wave in a row. I'm like, man, was this a bad idea? Like, should I have not let Kalani get 4 in a row? Like, was that bad luck, bad karma, whatever it was? And just a lot going through my head. Literally, this wall of water stood up 50 feet. As far down the reef as I can see it, like, it was looking like it was gonna close out the entire bay. And we towed this guy in and we couldn't see anything from the back. We just knew that it was a big wave. Let him go, the spray hits us, we're out the back. Next thing we know, about a minute and a half later, we just see Kalani pop up out of the water. My ears blew out, my ears blew out. And he was just losing it. We go in to find and see that Kalani literally just rode like an 80-foot wave. Like the absolutely the biggest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And he did it, man. And honestly, after he rode that wave, he was like, oh man, I was gonna give you the rope. And I was like, dude, you know what? You've literally been surfing the North Shore your whole entire life. You freaking deserve that wave. I don't deserve that wave. You deserved that wave. And he got in the XXL awards too.
Wait for it.
Oh my god! Hey, I told you. I told you I got the donuts. Oh.
That was historic, dude. So that was a very memorable day. The biggest waves I've ever seen with my eyes. I don't know if I rode the biggest wave in my life that day, but that completely changed my perspective on big wave surfing. But somehow, some way, I still wanted more. Finally, as you guys know, I recently got back from Portugal, where I successfully turned my honeymoon into a surf trip. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. World record. But while we were there, I got to surf Nazare, and I showed up to Nazare not knowing what to expect. I figured since I had a little bit of big wave experience, I would be able to handle it at a smaller size. Oh my God, my surfboard just fell. That was scary, dude. I thought someone was in here. Whew. So I was prepared for, the forecast said 13 to 17 feet, but I was prepared for like 25, 30 foot waves. And it ended up only being about 10, 12 foot faces, maybe 15 foot faces. But from what I can say, the thought of Nazare is definitely in your mind. It plays into your mental game. And I was by myself. David took me out there, but I don't really know Dave. Like, I met him that day. So it's a little different when you go out and surf these waves with like your friends or people that you know really well. It's just like the comfort levels there. And Big Wave Dave did everything to make it as comfortable and fun as he possibly could. He was great at what he did. But there is something about like knowing other people in the lineup and just trusting the situation, maybe being more comfortable with an area. Pretty much what I did was drive the Nazare, show up and go out on a jet ski with a guy I just met, and it was a little intimidating, it really was. But I did manage to get a couple great rides. Not only was the fact that I was not familiar with the place intimidating, the wave breaks everywhere, all crazy, peaks everywhere. So like, it's really hard to read which wave to take, and if you take the wrong one, you could end up with another wave on your head. I got a full like 2-wave hold down on my first wave, so I kind of got the fear of God put into me. And then they say, if it looks like a right, go left. I took a wave that looked like a right, and I went right, and I rode right into a closeout, and I got pinned underwater for a while. A couple little gnarly things happened to me, but the interesting thing was that it was so heavy, and it was only 10 feet. I could not imagine it at 50 feet. Those peaks on the outside are kind of cruisy, but dude, when it hits the inside, it walls up vertical, and it is super gnarly.
Why? Oh my God. Oh my God.
As far as the scariest big wave spots that I've surfed, or the scariest big waves that I've surfed, I have to say, probably the scariest moment for me, big wave surfing, was when the 20-foot wave landed on my head in Oregon. But some of the waves, just riding over the waves in Hawaii on the jet ski, were some of the scariest moments. And just experiencing a hold down on the inside at Nazare, even though it was only like 12 foot, it was terrifying. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I really wanted to kind of share what it's like for kind of an average person or an average surfer to go out and experience these waves. I'm not a big wave professional surfer. I'm not a big wave surfer at all, really, but I'm definitely interested in it, and I think I'll continue to do it, and I really look forward to 2022, and I hope that I can step up all my surfing game across the board. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Christmas is coming up, so happy holidays to everyone. And if you're enjoying the vlogs, you can leave us a thumbs up, you can leave us a comment in the comment section below, and you can subscribe to the channel. We just hit 150,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for the stoke. Thank you for the support. I love you. Nub Nation for the win. I'll see you next video for the dream.